Well, Jim, as we get ready to go to the main event, the AEW roster review from K On, let's briefly, and there's no other way to do this, go over the pay-per-view card this coming weekend, premium live event, Money in the Bank 2025, the 16th annual Money in the Bank pay-per-view event from the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California.
And by the way, I remember where if you had come to Vince McMahon with, here's the pay-per-view card, and you had like 2 multiple person matches and a couple more, and where's the rest of it? And this is what they're getting away with now, right?
Well, here's the card, and make sure you have your clock out for this event. I'd like to know how much time is in between these matches. A last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria, the champion, versus Becky Lynch. Here are the stipulations. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title for as long as Valkyria is champion. If Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and acknowledge Lynch as the better woman. Otherwise known as the last chance match.
Otherwise known as, goddamn just did the job, so go ahead and raise her hand. I mean, this could go either way because obviously Becky Lynch is a far bigger star than old Lyric, but they're also friends, and Becky's doing this to try to get her over. It ain't going to work, but I wouldn't be surprised because Becky doesn't need the women's Intercontinental title if they don't do that. Lyric wins and Becky can't challenge for it until somebody else wins it, and then everything's fine. Or maybe they'll go with some heat and make Lyric raise her hand, and then Becky will turn around and kick the shit out of her. I don't know. And to paraphrase an old Abbott and Costello routine, I don't care.
If Abbott and Costello saw the match, he might yell, "Chick!" But, Jim,
oh, chick!
Speaking of the chicks here, no, going back to this match here, Jim, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, last chance match. In terms of the Money in the Bank winner, do they only get the challenge for a world title, or is this title also included? They could challenge for the Intercontinental title.
Well, yes, because they've said somebody on the guy's side just said I could challenge you for something or other. So theoretically, they can challenge for any title. They've established that.
Let's now go, Jim, to the Money in the Bank matches. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match for a men's championship match contract. Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight versus Penta versus Seth Rollins versus Andrade versus El Grande Americano.
Oh, boy. And it would have been nice if they'd have had more of the main event guys in the big Money in the Bank men's match, but then they would have to stick a bunch of their stars in there that they wouldn't be winning. Obviously, Penta ain't going to win the thing, although I'll enjoy seeing him in the ring with Gable again. Maybe Gable has learned the word receipt. But Andrade, obviously, no. Gable, no. Penta, no. LA Knight, they're teasing us. And something's going to happen probably with Solo and the rest of his estranged family. Seth has got to win this, does he not? He's the leader of the new top heel faction with Paul, with the 2 Bronze. They look like the modern incarnation of a Horseman type group. I don't see Seth not winning this thing, do you?
Well, it seems obvious, but they do also have to find a way to get Punk on this card. And Punk owes Seth one from Monday. If Punk costs Seth Money in the Bank when it's clear that he's going to win, I guess Braun and Bronson are distracted by Sammy or who else, I don't know. And Punk does something that costs Seth that, it furthers their feud because technically they don't need, neither one of them need a belt. And again, it goes into the whole one screwed the other one. It's natural. But then it becomes who wins.
Well, yeah, because if there were more main event guys in this mix, you'd say, okay, but who do we want to see of these other 5 get a title shot?
Yeah, and of those 5, who would use that title shot and actually win the title? So we'll see. Seth Rollins seems like he'd be the pick, but also I think he probably has to get fucked over in some way on the card. But who knows? Maybe they'll make Andrade in one night. Jim, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match for a women's championship match contract. Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh boy! Well, I mean, again, obviously, if we're going on star power, Rhea is as over as all 5 other young ladies combined. But they might want to do something with Naomi because of her and Bianca. Naomi's a vicious heel now. I mean, the internet crowd is just a buzz over Stephanie and Julia. But are they going to draw any money?
Are you surprised they got brought up and I kind of incorporated into the main mix so quickly?
Yeah.
I mean, they're good. And I think Stephanie Vaquer is very good, but still, usually they keep those people in NXT for a while. And I don't know who else has gone to NXT and come up this quickly.
Yeah, I'm seeing they can wrestle. I'm not seeing any fireball personalities or incredible promos or whatever, but I mean, besides, again, Rhea is the natural choice because she's the biggest star, but they've got Naomi in a program with Bianca. Do you see, any of the other girls challenging for the world title in any kind of money match? Hard to stand up to Rhea. I think she ought to just beat the other 5 up and call it a day.
Rhea does need a win at some point soon. I feel like we've seen her on the losing end a lot for someone who has to stay over. Needs to stay over. She's good. Jim, the final match, the 4th match. A tag team match. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul.
And I guess you would normally say, well, here's the big match where it's, Bret Hart and somebody against The Undertaker and or whatever. And that's a bigger draw than the Money in the Bank matches. But they just announced this like last week. So I think they're just saying, fuck it. Wherever we're at is paying us a bunch of money and the thing's sold out because the fans will buy the tickets no matter what we charge. And we're getting paid the rights fee for this broadcast, whether anybody buys pay-per-view or not. So fuck it. 4 matches and here they are. And with the tag match, one would think that this would be Cody's opportunity to do something important and either beat somebody or show some life. But we will see.
Well, that's the premium live event from the Intuit, what is it, the Intuit Dome? It is a dome! How many seats are there in the Intuit Dome? Hold on. Intuit Dome seats? An undetermined amount of people, apparently. Is there not a number anywhere here? It doesn't say the capacity.
Well, is it one of the little itty bitty domes or one of the big bad domes?
Intuit Dome capacity, 18,000 people.
See, that's a little dome. That's a big arena, but a little dome.